What's good, y'all? It's your boy Inf, and I'm back with another video. Just out moving and grooving. As you can see, just got gas. Sun's almost down. It's been a long day running errands and shit. But while I'm in the car driving around, I'm headed back to Harrisburg right now. Figured I'd make a video talking about basically the whole buying process and how I got the car. Now, let me tell you firsthand, the buying process was a pain in the ass, to say the least. It wasn't just like, oh, I went online first day, found the car I was looking for, and boom, got it the next day. Oh, no. I mean, I wish it was that fucking easy, but it sure as hell wasn't. And by the way, hopefully y'all can hear me, since I'm in the car right now. I do have the sunroof open. I got the windows up, but crack this open because, as y'all know by now, I don't have no AC. Gotta get that taken care of soon. But anyway, so I wonder how I want to start. Should I start with how much I paid and all that, the money, all talk numbers, or should I start the whole process and like what I was looking for? I'll just get the numbers part out the way. So what I paid for my G35 is $4,000 flat, cash, in hand. No financing, no nothing like that. I mean, number one, first off, I wasn't financing a car more than 10 years old anyway. So, X that shit, fuck out of here. And kind of wanted to take the route of buying a car straight out, because right now I'm trying to work on my financial situation, trying to work on my credit, and I didn't feel like it would have been a bad idea, especially since I had to get my car back, to go out and fucking finance another car. That would have been a dumbass move. But so yeah, chose to take the paying straight out right. I ain't gonna hold y'all, it feels good to only be paying for insurance. And speaking of insurance, you guys probably wondering how much I'm paying for insurance. I am insured through the General, and I have a 12-month policy with them, which honestly surprised the hell out of me, because I think the only company that I've had insurance through with my first two cars was Progressive. But since my driving record isn't that great, Progressive was trying to charge me an arm and a leg, so I'm like, I'm gonna look elsewhere. Now I wasn't expecting to get a rate a hell of a lot lower than what Progressive was offering me, but at that point I was like, listen, I don't care. I'll take whatever company's 10 cents less. to be real with y'all, I was just being a cheap bastard. At that point, I ain't give a fuck. But somebody suggested the General, which I was kind of iffy with, because when I first got my Nissan, I was looking at the General. They were trying to charge me an arm and a leg, and it was, I don't know if it was a 12-month policy or not. But so I was like, all right, whatever, let me give it a try, because even my mom said that they were one of the cheaper companies. I was like, okay, I'll try again. And then when I got a quote with them, even considering my driving record, I got a quote for $108. A month. I was like, what the hell? Now, mind you, gotta consider my driver record's not that terrible. $108 a month for 12 months. So if it was a 6-month policy like most other insurance companies, do the math, it's gonna be around like between $220 and let's just say about $250 a month. So definitely would have been that cheap. But I was like, fuck it. I mean, I don't really care if it's a 12-month policy, 6-month policy. All I care about, I'm only paying $108 a month. I'll take that shit. Especially with my driving record, I was astonished. But so yeah, I paid $4,000 cash for the car. My insurance is $108 a month, and then obviously tags, title work, and all that other shit that you got to do with the notary transfer from the previous owner's name to your name or my name. That was about I think it was around $250. So, and then obviously I had to put the first deposit down for my insurance. So, all in all, the day I got this car, I'd say I paid roughly about $4,400-ish, if you consider, like, you know, the insurance and all that shit, titles, taxes, tags, and all that good shit, and how much I paid for the car. So about $4,300 to $4,400 I paid for the car at the end of the day, which honestly I think is a really good fucking deal. I mean, considering the mileage and everything like that. But like I said in my review, the guy took really good care of it. So if I do my part and take really good care of it, I should be able to get another 50,000 miles or so out of it, I'd say. And like I said before, I'm not planning on keeping this car forever. Of course not. This is just a build car, you know, something that I want to build up. And you know, obviously, I don't need a car payment right now, so that I can work on other my financial situation. You know, just build my credit up. You know, just keep saving. I mean, it's the easy way to save money. Get a car where you ain't gotta, you know, make car payments and shit. So it was the best financial decision for me right now. And in that way, I'll be fully prepared. And when I get to my credit to where I want it to be, I can go out and get a new car. And you already know one day I'm gonna get my Hellcat. So you never know. My Hellcat could be the next car after this. I mean, that's a stretch saying that because it's an expensive ass car. But hey, anything's possible. So like I said, at the end of the day, I paid about $4,400 for the car with everything. Now, this is like I mentioned it in my life update video before I put up the review video on the car. This was not my first option, but I was having terrible luck with this was my third option. I was having terrible luck with my first two options. So I was like, fuck it, let me look at my third option. And I came across this, and obviously went through with it and sending this shit right now. My first option was a 350. I mean, not no surprise how I ended up with this car looking at a 350. Same engine. See, my first option was a 350. Now, I'm not gonna tell you like those stories about every one that I've looked at, but the two situations where I was about to beat the shit out of these sellers, yo, I don't condone beating the shit out of people. But I'm telling you, I was this close. This motherfucking close. Especially when I had to drive, well, no, the one situation I had to drive out my way. Well, I didn't drive. My boy took me. My boy Brian took me. And obviously he was pissed because he wasted gas. But I mean, I gave him gas money anyway. But anyway, to that story. So I came across I want to say it was a 2006 Nissan 350Z. I found it on, I think that cars.com app. Yeah, that one I did find on cars.com. And it was listed for $6,000. Now, at this point, I was still considering how my thought process was thinking. Even if I can't find a car that I can buy cash right now, if I come across a car that's a really good deal that I can't pass up, I'll at least put down half the car and then finance the rest. And with how much I get, or with my monthly income, I'll be able to pay that car off by the end of the summer. And then by the end of the summer, I'll have a car where I'm not paying anything. But I came across a 2006 Nissan 350Z about $6,000. Yeah, it was about $6,000, and it was only, it only had 114,000 miles. Pretty good deal if you ask me. So I had contacted the dealership. It was being sold by a dealer. I had contacted them on a Thursday, and I told them the earliest I could come look at it would be that same Saturday. And mind you, I even took off work while I put in a personal day, so I still got paid. But I put in a personal day at my job because I thought for sure I was gonna come home that day with this car. I contacted that dealership on that Thursday, and I told them I'll be able to come check out the car that Saturday, 2 days later. So I'm thinking, there ain't nothing could go possibly wrong in 2 days. Brace yourselves for this stupid shit. So we get there. Now something told me I should have called this dealership, even though I just talked to them not even 2 days before. I should have called and confirmed that everything, you know what I mean, there was, just to be on the safe side, I should have called and confirmed that I was coming to look at this car that day, like that morning, but I didn't. Something told me I should have though. So me and my boy, he drove me out there. It was in Philadelphia, which is about an hour and a half from where we're at in Harrisburg. So drove all the way out there. Now we get up there, and this dealership was in South Philly, which, I mean, you gotta be careful with some of them South Philly dealerships that try to fuck you over, or it'll just be a whole finesse situation. But we get there, and as soon as we get to the lot, now mind you, it had a fence around the lot, but the fence didn't close. Like, you couldn't close the parking lot where you had all his cars from, where the dealership had all the cars stored. So anybody could walk in after hours, for example. So pull up there, and the 350 is right there by the entrance. I'm like, oh shit, there it is right there. Car was in pretty decent condition for the age of it. It had a little bit of rust bubbling around the rear fender. That's an easy fix because I know a guy in Harrisburg that does good body work for pretty cheap. I walk up, I got out the car, walked up, said, hey, I'm here to check out the 350 I called about 2 days ago. The guy was like, oh, there's no key.
What the hell did you just say?
The hell you mean there's no key? What? Like what? I'm sorry, come again, sir? He's like, oh yeah, there's no key. But he said it so nonchalant, he didn't give a fuck. Oh yeah, there's no key. I'm like, what do you mean there's no key? Now, I feel like this guy really tried to bullshit me because I know I caught him in a lie. Because at first he made it seem like one of I'm assuming this was the guy that I was talking to was the one, and it sounded like there was the guy on the phone that I had called not even 2 days before. And he made it seem like one of his other sellers at this dealership was showing somebody a car the day before, that Friday, and left it in his pocket, took it home by accident, and gave me the whole, he's on a fishing trip, won't be back till Monday. Come on, my nigga. I've heard better lies than that. Are you fucking serious? So I'm like, oh, sure, he's on a fishing trip. I'm like, okay. But then the story changed up to, oh no, another customer came the day before to check the car out, had the key with them, and the guy left but forgot to bring the car back. The key back. And they didn't have this guy's name or number or any type of contact information. So what, you're just letting people check the car out without at least getting their contact information and not even being there with in their presence while they're checking the car out? I'm like, if that is the case, what happened is you just got your fucking car stolen. Number one, it's South Philly. Number two, the guy took the key with him. The fucking lot's not gated up, or you can't there's no gate that shuts to enclose all the cars in or lock the lot up after hours. So basically, and it's right there by the entrance. So this guy can basically come anytime after hours and take your shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, okay, this is a sign not to get this damn car. Me and my boy were so pissed, wasted a whole day. At least I still got paid for that day, but wasted a whole fucking day. So pretty much hour and a half there and back, wasted 3 hours of driving for fucking nothing. And it was my boy's day off. Now granted, of course he didn't mind taking me out there to get a car. But since I didn't end up getting the car, I'm pretty sure he had better shit to do that day. So wasted 3 hours of his time, felt bad for him. Oh, it was, I just went home. He took me home, dropped me off, and I just stayed. I was just home the rest of the fucking day. So fucking irritated. So that's the first situation. The second situation all involved another 350Z. I really was about to smack the fuck out of this person because he kept giving me the runaround. So I have found a 2004 350Z. Close to the similar mileage as the one that I found in Philly. Now I found this on Marketplace, so a private dealer. And I found this one, I want to say the guy had it listed for $4,500. But it needed some pretty good amount of cosmetic TLC. I mean, the guy claimed there were no mechanical issues. I'm like, okay. But I did notice in the pictures, like the one muffler tip looked kind of like bent up, like they weren't like aligned. I could tell like the one was like up a little bit more than the other, and then there was like a lot of scratches on the hood. It was like it needed the fade. It just needed a paint job and a little bit of body work, which is nothing to complain about. I was that didn't bother me because I'm like, this is gonna be like a type project build car for me anyway. So I don't care if it's not in perfect tip-top condition as far as cosmetics. So I had contacted the guy and it was up in Hazleton, which is about an hour and a half from Harrisburg. So contacted the guy, and he contacted me or responded back to me like less than an hour later. Asked the guy if it was still for sale. He said yeah. Just ask the simple questions when you're trying to buy a car from somebody, especially a private dealer. Now I asked the guy, I was like, at the time I only had, actually no, I'm sorry. The guy had listed for $4,000. I talked him down though to $3,500 because at the time I only had $3,000 saved up, but I was gonna get paid later that week because I had contacted him on a Monday and I get paid every Thursday. So I would have had obviously a whole nother check that I could have put towards getting the car. So I talked him down to $3,500 just because of the cosmetic condition, and it's gonna need some TLC. And the guy was okay with that because he said he's been trying to sell for all. I'm like, okay, cool. So I pretty much just saved me some $500. Hey. So the guy, I had asked the guy for the VIN number and everything so that way I could run an insurance quote, get the insurance prepared. And I told the guy after I go grab my check that Thursday, a few days later, I can come out and meet up with you, check the car out, and if I'm satisfied with how it looks and everything, if I don't see nothing wrong with it, or any big issues, we can go forward. And the guy was like, all right, cool. So we had arranged to meet that Thursday, a few days later. This guy waits until Wednesday night to tell me that he doesn't have the title.
You what?
I'm like, what the fuck you mean you don't have the title? How are you selling a car on Facebook Marketplace and you don't even have the title in hand? Supposedly, he was supposed to get the title mailed to him that day. I'm like, okay. I mean, I do know that PennDOT doesn't allow you to pick up your title from PennDOT anymore. They have to mail it to you. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna trip too much. Give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna just assume that it came a day or so late. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'll check back with you tomorrow, like around the time I go get my check, just to see if you got it in the mail. Check back with him the next day. He was like, oh, sorry, man, it still didn't come in. I'm like, oh, okay. But I was irritated because I had to go back to work that Friday because I work weekends. I work Friday to Monday. I was like, well, I'll hit you up in the morning to see if you got it. Because if I can, I'll just come get the car from you before I go to work. Because I had to be to work till 3. So, contacted the guy in the morning. And then the guy was like, no, sorry, man, still didn't come. So I'm like, alright, whatever. I'll check back with you tomorrow. Because I really wanted to get this car. So, the guy hits me up later Friday night, while I'm at work. He was like, well, the problem is, the whole situation is, man, and the guy's English wasn't that great because I could tell he was Spanish. So obviously when he was like messaging me through Facebook, like how he was talking, his sentences weren't like full sentences, they weren't clear. So along with him fucking like, I feel like he was giving me the runaround. I was getting frustrated because I'm like, you're not even speaking proper English in your fucking sentences and shit. And on top of that, I feel like you giving me some bullshit right now. So I was getting really frustrated at that point. But he had messaged me that Friday night while I was at work. Oh, well, the problem is, I guess whoever had the fucking car before him, I guess he said it was a woman. I guess he said, oh, she never like signed her signature on the paperwork, blah blah blah. I guess to get it put in his name. I'm like, at least that's what I got from it. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. Is the car even in your fucking name? Because I guess he said he had to send the paperwork back, blah blah blah, to get a signature or some bullshit. I'm like, so if there's not even like no signature, or there's a signature missing with the paperwork or like the title work and all that shit, and like if the transaction to get it put in your name like wasn't like completely processed, is what I'm getting from it, then the car is not even technically yours, nigga. Like, what the fuck? How are you trying to, I'm like, hold up. How the hell are you trying to sell me a car that's not even in your fucking name? I told my dad this shit because I was gonna have him go with me. My dad sold cars for several years, so he has some experience. He knows how to tell if somebody's bullshitting me or not. I told my dad that shit. He was like, boy, run. I was like, listen here. I'm running like fucking Forrest Gump. You ain't gotta tell me twice. I'm like, what the fuck? But before the guy had told me that bullshit, he had said, well, if you're still interested for the car, I'll just put my listing on Facebook Marketplace as pending so nobody else can like hit me up about it. I'm like, all right. Like, listen. And then the following Monday, he was like, hey man, still waiting for this. I'm like, you know what, man, I'm not interested no more. He was like, why not? Blah, 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 blah. I didn't say this, but I'm like, in the back of my mind, I don't gotta give you no type of fucking explanation. Just know, I'm not interested no more. Thank you for wasting my time. Have a nice day. I was so fucking mad. Now, those are the two stories with buying a 350. So my second option was a BMW 335i. For those who don't know, not only do I love Mopar, of course, and I also love JDM. Oh my God, there's a fucking GTR right here. Oh shit. I don't know if y'all saw that shit. Y'all probably can't see it through the window. Hopefully I got that on camera. I had to go, damn it, trying to prop my shit up. I had to go back and check the footage, but I just passed a whole fucking GTR just as I fucking said JDM. That's awesome. And obviously I'm riding in the baby GTR. Anyway, let me calm down before I get any police attention. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So my second option was a BMW 335i. Not only do I like Mopar and JDM, but I also love Beamers. I've always wanted to own a Beamer. The reason why I've always wanted to own a Beamer, and I think I'm gonna make a video talking about like my dream garage. I think that'd be a cool video for you guys to watch, because I get a lot of people that ask me all the time, what your dream car is. Like, if you could pick any, if you like certain dream cars, what would you pick? So I'll make a whole video on that. I think you guys would enjoy that. But anyway, back to the what I was saying. I've always wanted to own a BMW because obviously I grew up in the hood, and most of the time, like, if you like trying to play my words right, if you like compare like Audi or like German engine car, like German cars, if you like take like Audi, BMW, Mercedes, and I guess you could say Porsche too, majority of the time, if you grew up in the hood, you saw more BMWs. Like, if you saw a nigga in the hood with a BMW, you knew that nigga had bread. Whether he was getting his money illegally or legally, it didn't fucking matter. You just knew that nigga had a bag on him. So if you had a BMW, you were winning. It doesn't matter what kind of BMW, whether you had a base fucking BMW or you had some top-notch shit. You had a BMW, you was hot shit. So I always wanted to get a BMW, and I was like, if I get a BMW, that'll be a fucking game changer. And the BMW 335s, the E92, that's the one I was looking for. You could find those easily under 10 grand. And they're really good cars. I've never driven in one, and I've never driven one myself. And I know a guy that actually a guy that I work with now told me he used to own one. So yeah, that was my second option. And my luck with trying to find a BMW 335i was not that great either. It wasn't because I was getting the runaround. It was just because it was it was really hard to find one. Sorry, I'm trying to get the camera right. And my fucking phone keeps dropping. No, see, the car is a rough ride, kind of. I mean, it's a sports car. The car's low. And every time I hit like a fucking dip or whatever, it keeps fucking falling down. But it was really hard for me to find one under like under $7,000. Like, that's the lowest I could find one in good condition that didn't have too much exterior wear or damage, I guess you could say, or that was in clean condition. It was really hard to find one for a decent amount of miles under like 7,000. So at that point I was like, and that's why I decided, or I was thinking of, well, if I find one that I really like, I'll put down a large amount towards the car, like around half, and then finance the rest. And same thing like I would have done with the 350. Okay, I'm just gonna hold the fucking phone because it keeps dropping. But like I was saying, and then just pay that off by the end of the summer, and then I'll have a car that paid off by the end of the summer. Ain't gotta worry about payments or nothing. But every time I would find one that was a pretty good deal, I would contact the dealer or the seller, and it'll be sold. Like, I swear I contacted about 5 different 335i's, and they were all sold, or it was either they were all sold or the guy wanted me to put down a ridiculous amount of money. Like, for example, I found a blue 2006 Nissan 350Z in Virginia for $8,000, but the car only had like 70,000 miles. I was like, oh shit, okay. I was like, well, even if I put down like $4,000, finance $4,000, should be no big deal. And, you know, I pay it off by the end of the summer, that'll boost my credit up. Well, I contacted that dealership, and they're fucking talking about all of our cars, we require a $6,000 car payment. No, I'm sorry, the car was $7,000. I'm like, is squeeze on me? You want me to put $6,000 down on a $7,000 car? Click. Fuck out of here. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, I was getting so frustrated at that point, because at that point, it was like 3 weeks of me trying to find a damn car. Oh, I was getting so fucking mad. I was like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna find the fucking car that I want. And at that point, I almost was about to just fucking buy a beater to get me from A to B. But I was like, nah, nigga. Be patient. Don't worry. The right car will come around. But anyway, back to the BMW. I couldn't find any in good condition. And plus, I did a lot of research. I didn't really want to deal with BMW maintenance at this point in time. I mean, I could have. But I just didn't want to deal with the extra hassle. Because I know, doing my research, that 335Is, they have their issues. And the guy I work with that had one, he told me one time he took the his into a shop for some maintenance, and he had a fucking bill for $4,000. I'm like, yeah, I would need a much better paying job for that shit. I'm like, yeah. So at that point, I decided to go with my third option, the G35. And then this was I think this was the second one I came across. Because I came across one, I forget where it was at. It wasn't that far away, like less than 2 hours. But the guy said it needed a bunch of work done to it. So I was like, this is probably too risky to take. But I came across this, contacted the guy. The guy was real cool. And I could tell that he knew a good bit about cars too. I got this car, it's a town called Ben Salem. It's like right outside of Philly. It was about 2 hours away. So yeah, I contacted the guy. We negotiated. I forget how much he was selling this car for. I think he was selling it for $4,500. We negotiated $4,000 and went from there. I went up there to get the car. My boy Terrence took me up there. Shout out to you, Terrence, for taking me up there. I don't know if you watch my videos. You better be watching my damn videos. I'm just playing. But took me up there. This is how I knew the guy. This was like the right guy to buy the car from. He works at a dealership, and he even detailed the car for me. Well, he detailed it okay, because when I first cleaned the car out and took the car for its first wash, it was still pretty crummy and pretty grimy in here. It took me over an hour to really detail this interior to my standards, not nobody else's standards. My standards are a little bit higher than most. I go that little extra above and beyond when it comes to taking care of my shit. But even still, he went out his way to at least like wash the car for me, do a quick detail on the inside. So I was like, that was pretty dope and considerate of him. But yeah, the whole buying process went smoothly. The annoying part was on the way back home, it downpoured on us, so I couldn't even like have a little bit of fun with the car on the way home. But yeah, that's basically the whole buying process. In a nutshell, didn't have that much good luck with the 335i or the 350, so chose to go with the G35. I love the decision that I went with. Love my purchase. Love this car. I don't regret it by any means. And in my opinion, no shots fired to anybody out there that owns a 350. Because in pictures, I wasn't really, as far as looks, I wasn't too sure about the G35. But in person, I feel like the car looks a hell of a lot better. And the looks have really started to grow on me over the last month of owning this car. And in my opinion, at the end of the day, I feel like the G35 over the 350, I feel like the G35 looks a bit more mature. And of course, like I covered it in the review, like it's just so much more practical. The trunk's bigger. It has back seats. I mean, they're like Camaro back seats. They're really not that usable. But there's so many like weird amenities in this car. Like you could tell it's mixed with performance and luxury, whereas the 350 is just luxury. And plus the 350 doesn't have back seats. this car is just more of an all around better. It was a more of an all around better pick for me. And since I'm daily driving this, I wanted something that was a little bit more practical too. So yeah, that's basically the whole buying process. Hopefully I didn't drag this video on too long, but yeah, that's the whole buying process. That's how much I paid for the car. $4,000 cash, $108 a month in insurance. And yeah, probably close the video out now because as you guys can tell, sun's just about to go down. It's about to be completely black soon. But that's the answer to your question. For those of you that were asking how much I paid for the car, and a couple of people asked like, what were your other options that you were looking at? So that's it right there. That's how much I paid for the car. That's how much I paid for insurance. Those were my other two options besides the G35. So with that all being said, hope you guys enjoy the video. Appreciate you guys for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend and tell a friend. And I'll catch you on the next one.